Hello, welcome to the Leeds house with me, James. It's just me today. Kevin's away. Surprise, surprise. I've decided to just pop on by myself. I was going to leave it after yesterday's game, but I thought I'd come on and just talk about it. I went on Auto Know Better this morning to have a little chat about it, but yeah, I just wanted to come on here and we'll discuss it. I'll discuss it because I'm on my rodness. Where can we start? Where can we start? We can start with the selection. Yesterday's game, as we know, we went to Turf Moor and we lost 2-0. It's coming a bit of a bogey team for Leeds, isn't it? Burnley. All the games have pretty much panned out the same way, and we've come away with a point and probably should have come away with 9. My opinion, that is. But team selection, I don't think it was as any surprises from my point of view. I thought he was going to keep pretty much the same team. He likes his consistency. I also thought that he would bring Jack Harrison in for Okafor because that's been his sort of first sub to go to on the wings. And to be fair, it's the only winger he's had to bring on for the last few games because Nonto and James have been unfit. So the selection didn't surprise me. There was calls for obviously Biol to come in for Strauch, and I want to see him too. I want to see him play. I want to see if he can, add something to this team. But at the same time, I understood why he wasn't put straight in the team because, as a defensive unit, we haven't been terrible. Some of the goals we've conceded have been either wicked little deflections, an own goal, a shit draft excluder, and just poor marking and not picking up players really. But that's what happened yesterday anyway. So the selection for me, it was a standard. I mean, a lot of fans like to see wholesale changes, and they want to see their new players play. I understand that too. But we've just got to be a little bit realistic. This isn't Football Manager. This is the Premier League. I don't think we did anything wrong really yesterday, apart from not pick players up when we should have, and put away our chances. And it's one thing that I'm really critical about us, and I've been critical about us for a long time, is that we seem to always give away really cheap and easy goals. But it takes us a lot of chances to score, and that needs to be rectified. It does. But on the whole, the performance wasn't terrible. I mean, it's not been terrible all season, by the Arsenal game. I think people are just very reactionary because of the team that we played. And we look at a game like yesterday and it's like, oh, Burnley, these are the teams that we've got to beat. And it's like, well, we don't beat Burnley. We haven't beaten them. We didn't beat them last season. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have won, because we definitely should have. I think we should have won anyway. But anyway, we'll go through the goals, the 2 goals that we conceded. And it's just like the first goal is just very lapsadaisical sort of. First, it's Darlow kicking the ball out, and then it's the throw-in's taken. Jack Harrison is on his own against 2 players. He actually calls for a player to come up. He actually calls for someone to come over and give him a hand. That doesn't help. So Carl Walker's got a free cross, and then there's like 4 players around him. There's 4 players that no one's picking him up, and everyone's obviously looking at Pascal Struijk because he's the scapegoat and he's the one that people want out of the team. So BL can come in. So obviously he was going to be blamed for it, which it is what it is. But it actually went over his head. And there's a number of players that should have been picking up. It's a midfielder that's just wandered into the box and got a free header. And that's the goals that we give away. And we've been like that for a long time. And we just need to be really, you can't. You almost have to be faultless. And as we say, like in this league, because you'll get punished. I mean, that's what happens if you if you give people easy chances. But then when we get our easy chances, yeah. And the second goal again, it's free in the middle of the park. I mean, you can't do that. I mean, to be fair to the bloke, he's absolutely levered that into the top corner, and you can't really. Sometimes they just happen, don't they? It's a great strike. It's a long way out. You don't really, you don't really expect them goals to go in, but it did. But he shouldn't be having the shot. He shouldn't be freely having that shot from there. There's a number of players you can pick on, but again, Pascal Strauch has been blamed for not closing him down. And I'll even concede that someone needs to take responsibility, and if Pascal's there, then yeah, he does need to close him down, but he's not the only one there. Could have closed him down. I think Ampadu was closer to him, maybe, that he could have closed him down, and then Stacks let him run off him. So there's a whole host of players that you could have blamed for either of the goals, but the usual suspects are getting knocked for it. But on the whole, I thought Burnley was shit. Like if I'm watching that game from a neutral point of view, yes, Burnley have won that game, but both goals very very avoidable. The gameplay itself, I thought Burnley were rubbish. We weren't at our best. We played better this season, but we were still better. We were still a better team. I know, like, people go on about, oh, stats don't win your games and blah blah blah, but I'll get the stats up anyway, because why not? Here we go. Here's the stats. Boom, boom. Let me just change my position. So, boom, boom. Which one should I go for? This one, this one, this one, this one. Anyway, there's the stats. 69 possession. XG of 1.68. I think this is the BBC. I don't know the BBC. This is the BBC stats. I think it was a higher. Might be right. But even still, there, shots 19, shots on target 4. And if you think about two of our best chances, they were two that didn't go on target. So there's the Bogle one, where I don't know how he managed to get that over, and the Harrison one, where he probably could have brought it down and had a shot, but he's tried the volley, and it's bounced and went over. And then you look at the total touches inside the opposition box. Burnley had 3. He's had 44, and the goalkeeper saves and that. So stats don't win you games, I know that, but they count. They count for your overall play, and if you're consistently putting in these performances, even like yesterday, where I don't think we were at our best, we still dominated the game. Eventually, I think the performances will tell, and I think they'll turn once we get our some of our players back in the team, like Okafor. I think Okafor is going to be a big player for us. So me and Kevin mentioned it. I think he's going to be a huge player for us this season. And then once you've got Nonto and James fully fit, we'll have more options. And I do think that our performances will turn. Yeah, some players, they're a bit off it yesterday. Some of our better players this season, like Bogle, for instance, I thought Bogle's been really good this year. I didn't think he had a poor game yesterday. Not poor. I mean, it's not poor, but he just wasn't his usual bombing south, and that chance, just probably summed up his game. You could see how frustrated he was when he kicked to the side of the boards at the back. I thought Longstaff was slightly off it. He was getting around and he was motoring around the pitch, but again, some of his passes were a bit off. And his corners have been really good this season. We've actually found a good set piece taker. and they were a bit rubbish yesterday. They weren't the best. I think one of his corners reverted back to the old Leeds couldn't beat the first man. Um, uh, yeah, I thought Harrison was all right. He's getting slated. He always gets slated because he's one of these scapegoats. I thought he was all right. Should have scored his chance. I'm not denying that. He should have definitely scored that. Wasn't a good save though, was it? Really, I think the goalie was really lucky. It was put down as a great save, but I think Aronson tried to slide it underneath him, and he's absolutely made a hash of like holding on to it because it's sort of, it's luckily it's bubbled up and hit the post. Good evening, Einar. Thanks for joining me because you're the only one watching, so you can talk to me, mate. What did you think of the game yesterday? I'll give your opinion, mate. Yeah, so he definitely should have scored his chance, but I don't think he had a bad game. I really don't. I think there were worse players on that pitch yesterday. I thought Harrison didn't really add anything to the game yesterday. Didn't really make a threat, although he did set Aronson up and he should have scored himself. And then he had the shot from outside the box. It went blah, blah. But I didn't think he added much to the game, to be honest with you. He didn't really do anything of note apart from them two things. Ampadu, okay, just standard. Didn't really have a lot. I mean, the game itself, we had a lot of the ball, and they didn't really pose any real threat. I think I can remember all 4 attempts that they had. There was the goal that they scored from 25 yards, the free header. They had a free kick that just went straight to Darlow, and then there was another shot that went about 25 yards out that went nowhere. So there wasn't really a lot for us to do. They were, mate. They were all. I wouldn't say they were awful. They just didn't do anything. They didn't really have to do anything in terms of like defensively, but they didn't contribute anything for us to win the game. Agree. I don't think Strike was that bad either, and I think he's getting blamed for the 2 goals that we conceded because people just want to see Biol come in the team. So he's obviously going to get. Longstaff, see, I thought Longstaff didn't have one of his better games. He, like I say, he didn't do much wrong either, but he wasn't his passing was a little bit off at times. We were just a little bit lethargic, but I think you need to put that down to how Burnley set up because they do what they always do against us, and we've watched it for 3 games now, where they just sit in and they'll try and break. And they didn't really do it yesterday. There was a couple of times where they beat our press a little bit, but then we were always back in, and they couldn't really. They didn't do anything. It was more us losing the game than them winning it. If that's the way I see that. Who else was there? Roden was standard. I thought Goodmanson was good. He had a good game. Near the end of the game, he started to get crosses in. Our only sort of decent crosser of the ball yesterday was Goodmanson, but it started coming a bit too late in the game, and this is the other thing as well. Let's have a look here. I blame Stack and Ampadu for the second goal. Stack for walking back and Ampadu for not engaging. See, yeah, I said the same thing earlier, mate, about everyone's complaining about Strauch not engaging him, not pushing out to him, but Ampadu could have been blamed for the same thing. Now, I agree that somebody needs to take charge, and like if I'm Fack, I would still say to Strauch, if no one's doing it, you do it. But there's other players. There were other players that could have taken on that responsibility. Yeah, Stacks. He's a bit hot and cold, isn't he? He's a bit lethargic at times. He'll do something good, and then he'll do something like you say. He'll be a bit sluggish, and he won't. Do you know what I mean? He's letting him walk past him basically, and he's sort of jogging back. But as I was saying, sorry earlier, if I'm a neutral watching that game, I'm more worried about Burnley than Leeds because Leeds weren't great, but they were still better than Burnley. Burnley have scored obviously and won the game. They've scored 2 goals that were avoidable. But if I'm watching Burnley, then I'm like you're at home and you're being dominated really, and for some slack defending and some poor finishing, Leeds easily win that game yesterday, and they weren't great. I thought Calvert-Lewin was a little bit isolated at times, but in other games it's a bit more stretched, and where he's effective, where we're playing balls up to him, he's able to hold that ball off and have players running on. But when you've got a team that's sitting back and he hasn't got the space to do that, I felt a little bit sorry for him yesterday. He did try a scissor kick though with his big massive legs. Nearly took out both teams, because the way when he lies down, his literally legs cover the whole pitch, and his scissor kick nearly took everyone out. But I thought where we were going to win that game yesterday, judging on how we played Burnley, was using his height and getting good balls into the box, because I think he's going to beat most defenders in the air. I thought that's where we would probably target, like getting balls, out wide quickly and getting them into the box as quick as we could. Let's have a look. Yeah, Struijk has his area to defend. He would engage, and everything would be open at the back. Amadou has to stop. Yeah. Someone needed to take charge at the end of the day, and there was 3 midfielders that could have done it. It weren't down to Struijk. Yes, it wasn't provided with anything. This is what I'm saying, mate. It's the thing that's going to be brought up when we're not picking up results. His lack of goals are going to come into question, and people are going to be like, well, as a forward, he should be scoring goals. If you're not giving him the service, especially we sort of know his limitations now. We can gather that after the first 8 games. We know where he's strong and we know where he's not the best. So get balls into him. But yeah, he will be judged when we don't pick up points. Oh, we should have got a striker that can score. Just give him the service, and I think he'll score. If you give him the right service, I think he'll score goals. We just needed to. A game like yesterday, that's what I'm saying. I think we really would have targeted his height at the back, and getting. And as I said earlier, like Longstaff's corners weren't great yesterday. I think he put one good one in to Roden, and he headed it straight at the goalkeeper. Mechid, come on, didn't really affect the game that much. James looked a bit lively. I think getting him up to speed, getting him fully fit will be a massive benefit for us, because you might be limited a little bit technically, but speed is such a weapon in any league, really, especially when we need an outlet. I think he'll be good to get back into the team. So, as I was saying, like the flow of the game, watching from a neutral, this is the sort of the momentum of the game. We've dominated it, and we've not been good. We've absolutely dominated that game, and I think us fans, not us fans. It's a select few, actually. I'm being very critical of our own fans, because it's not all of us. I think there's just a select few, and they seem to have the loudest voices, and it's everything shit, and we're shit, and fuck shit, and the players are shit, and the owners are shit. I mean, if you're going to stand at the start of the season and complain that we're not going to do any good and we're going to be relegated because we haven't got a good enough squad, and then every game you're expecting us to blow teams away, and then complaining that we're not, just pick a goddamn lane. Just pick a lane. If we're going to be shit, just accept that we're going to be shit, if that's what you think. But we aren't. We haven't been shit. We have not been shit this season. Unfortunate. That's what we've been. Unfortunate. Who else played yesterday that I can talk about? Let's talk about the Hannibal chap. Now, I don't know if it's true. Anyone can tell me. I think he got arrested. Did he get arrested for spitting in the Leeds fans? Oh, Cole Darla, yes, mate. Thank you, Kevin. You're watching all the way from NYC. Mate, I've got my reservations about Darlow. I've had my reservations about Darlow ever since that Salford game where he made the perfect circle for the ball to go through his arms. He's been okay, but he's not really been massively tested. But I do think that his reaction time is just a little bit not of a top quality keeper, not someone that you need in this league. Because I even think like I'm probably being a bit critical of him, but I even think that the Tottenham game, the first goal that they scored, I think a good keeper saved it. I know it was a brass band. I know it took a deflection, but if you watch his positioning, I think a good keeper has a good reaction and saves that. Oh, you're not there yet. So why ain't you on here then, mate? Why ain't you on here then? Oh, okay. I'll let you off. Yeah, I think we need to see Perry come in. We haven't really seen much of Perry. We've only seen him in the Everton game where didn't have anything to do, and then the Arsenal game where he just let him 5 goals. But if I'm hearing right, I think he's been playing. He come with a bit of an injury, so I'm hoping he's fixed now. And he's a big lad, and we need his big punches and his big long throws to set Dan James off, and we just win every game by him just throwing it out to Dan James and scoring. Yeah, Darlow, mate, not for me. Not for me. I think if we're going to have a game where we're a bit under the cosh and we're having a few peppered shots, I think we'll see the negative side of Darlow. I generally think that if he plays, we need a better keeper in goal, to be fair. And you could even, I'm not blaming him for the first goal, but just come out. Could he come out? Maybe, I don't know. It's probably a bit harsh if there's enough players in there to pick the man up in the middle. Kev, how did you feel about the game yesterday, mate? What's your opinion on it? Do you think it was as shit as everyone is making out? I mean, it weren't great, but I can't concede that we were the worst team yesterday. I'd be more worried if I was a Burnley fan, even though they won yesterday. I know it's mental to say that, but watching how the game panned out and watching how they played, I think if that's how they're gonna play this season, better forwards punish them and they don't get the goals that they got against us. So I think they're in trouble, big trouble. And I think that our performances eventually will turn and the results will turn. I do think we do need some more plays in the winter window though. So overall, I mean, it's not going to be a long one tonight, guys, because I'm on my own and I've flown through pretty much the whole game. But on the whole, I just think we need to keep the faith, and I think people are calling for Farke's head, or I mean, they've been calling it since we got promoted for Farke's head. They're determined to be proved right that he's not a Premier League manager. What you say, Kevin? No, we were better. I'm not saying we were good, but I see. Yeah, that's what I mean, mate. We weren't great yesterday, but we were still much better than Burnley. I put the stats up on that earlier. West Ham have a Dutch winger that fits our system with a massive set of gnashers. I haven't watched much of West Ham. I did watch a game not long ago, and he actually looked really good. He actually looked really, really good. So if he plays on Friday, Bogle better up himself. He better up his game a little bit because he'll have a torrid time. But yeah, I think that I think Farke's got pretty much right. He's got it right so far in terms of the personnel he's got. He has switched up his system. People are calling for him to change his system again. We should be playing a 3-5-2 and blah 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 blah. I mean, do you know what? I'm going to trust a manager that's got one of the best win rates as a Leeds manager. I'm going to trust him more than Steve from Barnet, who demands that Farke be sacked. He's not done bad. He's been let down a little bit by the recruitment, but even still, even still, judging on the game so far, we're not doing too bad. We're not doing too bad. I think our performances will turn, guys. I think our performances will definitely turn. If I had to pick a man of the match from yesterday, it's a hard one because I don't think anyone was amazing, but I'll probably go Goodmanson purely for what he does. He is a booter, isn't he? Cav agrees. Yeah, good player. There's one time where he got beat and he got back, got the tackling. Good defender as well. Good defender, good attacker. And some of his like I spoke about Gabby Goodmanson at the start, and people were talking about but his output as goals and assists weren't really great, and I was like, but I think he'll get more. He'll get more with this team. Like we've seen it already. Like some of the balls that he's putting in, he could have scored a couple of goals himself against Wolves. Yes, we will be talking about a win against West Ham. We will, mate. Gabby Goodmanson is for me so far the best signing we've made. Consistently. I know that he scored no goal and I know that he fell over against Spurs, but other than that, he's been really, really good. I think Okafor might come close once he gets up to speed as well, because he's a little special player. Yeah, thanks, Einar. Einar, just out of interest, what do you think the score's going to be next week against West Ham? I've got a good idea what you're going to say. Me too, mate. Just for the sake of it, just to shut some people up. I mean, will it change anything? Would have him playing yesterday really changed anything? The way the goals were scored, I don't know. Shut the front door. Oh no, you all right, mate? I was expecting this. Honest than this. You okay? Everything all right, mate? Do you want to chat? That's bloody better. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, would have Bill changed anything yesterday in the game? I don't know if he would, because of where the goals come from. Maybe he's that good at heading that he cuts out Walker's amazing cross and just fucking jumps 9 foot before it goes over, because obviously it went over Stroud. Maybe he cuts that amazing cross out. And then the second goal, I mean, he's just fucking rasped it from 25 yards. I think a good keeper saves that though. Before we go, I will stick the league up just so we can all have a little gander. Still not bad. This obviously not taking into consideration the game that was played today and tomorrow's game. I mean, who we wanting to win tomorrow? We wanting Brentford to win, or we wanting West Ham to win? I mean, I don't think it matters at this point. I mean, it's a bit ridiculous to sort of look at the league table now and be like, oh, we need them to lose so we can. I think Forest might get relegated. I think they'll have about 20 managers this season, but I think they might get relegated. They've got such a good team, but Jesus Christ, is worse than Chilino, isn't he? He's worse than the bloody Watford owners. Apparently, there was talk of him wanting to do it himself, man. That's insane, but it's not bad. 8 points, 8 games. We all know that we probably should be where Crystal Palace is. Have that sort of points. Sunderland are yet to really play any really, really decent teams, and I'm not knocking them, because they're doing well, and you can only play what's in front of you. And it just goes to show, yesterday, their first goal, he hits it, the keeper fumbles under the keeper, rolls in. Yesterday for us, Aronson shot, fumbles under the keeper, hits the post. It's just a little bit of luck that you need. But yeah, there's not too much that we. I mean, there is a worry because I went on Auto Knows Better today, and they were saying like, can you keep saying we played well, but we haven't got the result? I mean, no, you can't. But the way we're playing, I think we're too good for that. The way we're playing is too good for us not picking up points because it's just it's small margins. It's small margins. It's not like we're not being cut open. We're not, we're not looking bad. 45. Happy birthday for tomorrow, Ina. Happy birthday, mate. I know it's all downhill after 40 anyway. Sorry, life begins at 40. So don't worry about it, Ina. You're in your peak years. It's when you should be conquering the world. Conquering the world. Kev, did you see? I made a little intro, mate. Did you see it? Just a little one, just for today. Tell me if you've seen it, and if not, I'll show you now. No worries, mate. No worries. Well, I'm going to show you right now, mate. You ready? Here it goes. What do you think? I weren't gonna come on, mate, but I just thought can't let Arnold down. Can't let him down. That's what I was going for, man. That's what I was going for. It's just a little. I'm gonna improve it. I'll need to get some pics of you, Kev. That's you. You're Ron Jeremy. Isn't he in jail now, or is he dead? He's one of the two. I think he's in. Might be dead. Might be in jail, but it's definitely you. I think that's it. I think bad result, decent performance. Not a decent performance, poor performance, but still the better team. More to come from us. Get our players back. Get our Okafor back in. Get Nonto in. Get James up and running. Yeah, and we'll be doing that. Orgasmo in all over the league, and we'll fly up to that 8th place where I've predicted. Still holding on to it. I will also. I'm going to stop doing videos because every time I've done one, it's not gone very well. We lost, and editing videos is fucking up my eyes. So I might leave it for a little bit until I get my eyes looked at, and then I'll get back onto it. But I think that's about it, guys. I'm going to go. It's been half an hour of me talking to myself, and Kev and Ina, thank you for taking part and making this the best ever Leeds house that I've been by myself doing second time. Kev will be on next week. So check that out. I think I'm going to leave it. Take care.